Start with some twisting. And then just a few tipping. One side contracting, one side stretching. And then just a few pulling. Slight twisting as well. You want the strain to come into the heart. Pushing two hands towards each other. Try and keep the shoulders relaxed. then into the pull. And then pushing again. Good. And then just putting the stick down. And let's just sit for a moment with the arms behind the back. Feel the thymus being projected upwards by this enforced straightening of the spine. And hands back to here for a moment. And now just feeling the structure. Feel the verticality of the spine. So there's a sense that you're being suspended. There's like a movement upwards through the crown of your head. And to feel the crown. When that is pulling up, the chin tucks in. And of course, there's the flow down the spine, which splits at my sacrum into my hips, through my sitting bones, into the floor, or into the chair, down the legs of the chair. But then also feel the arms. There's a sense of something flowing down the spine, but there's also a sense of something flowing down the arm into the hand and down this arm into the hand. So something is pulling into your cupped hands at the level of your dantian. So we want to feel that, like the weight of the shoulders just pulling the neck and from the head. So gravity is driving me down into the ground and getting a consequent upward thrust. But it's also pulling my shoulders down into my hands. And then we just want to feel the three dantians, the belly, the heart, and the head. And appreciate that they're very different from each other. It's like they each inhabit a different reality. So the head center is very much to do with the consciousness, the world of objects, of things, the thingness of the world. But when you relax that, then it's like the things sort of disappear. They sort of blur, a mist descends, and that's all there is. It's just this sort of sea of consciousness or awareness. So that's the idea of meditation, is you lose the thingness of the world. You yourself stop becoming a thing, and the mind just expands. You know that phrase from the 60s, it blew my mind, like Jimi Hendrix, and then my mind split open. So this sense of something just sort of spilling out into this vast, into the cosmos, really. And then there's the heart, which we're all very familiar with, because that's the center of our affections, really. Our connections, our feeling of connectedness, our desire to forgive, to join, to rejoin, to reconnect. There's that wonderful poem by Ezra Pound, which finishes, "Nothing matters but the quality of the affection in the end." So it responds to innocence. You know, when you see a baby or a little child, and your heart just expands and smiles. And then there's the Dantian. So this is very much to do with the earth, with our connection to what's beneath us and to nature. There's a sense that it ruminates. It's like gut feelings, instincts, even intuitions seem to spring from the gut. Bring it up into prayer. Feel the middle fingers directing the thymus upwards. Feel the two aspects of the heart that we work with, the thymus, the upper heart, which is like the male heart, our aggressive desire to come out and affect the world. And then the deep heart, the feminine heart, which wants to draw things in, wants to hug and embrace. So thymus is here, and then deep heart is here. So the heart is quite big. It's quite a big center. It's bigger than the other two. And John used to say that all the centers have this double aspect. The Dan Chen really is the center of this region, the navel being the top center equivalent to the thymus, and then the almost the pubic bone is like the lower part. It's the dish of the lower diaphragm. And so you have this region of which my Dan Chen is the middle. And then the same here. So the deep mind is really the where the tip of the tongue touches the very roof of the mouth. Sort of round about the dip here. And then the upper part is more here, which is sort of projecting forwards, the crown of the brow, really. Okay, so let's stand up now. Reconnecting with the Dan Chen, there's a sense that this center, the lower Dan Chen, belongs to the earth. There's a feeling that it wants to get down, it wants to flow down through the legs and into the earth. And there's another sense that the earth is wanting to claim it. So something is coming up my leg in order to grab my Dan Chen, or grab my sacrum, or grab my Ming Men, however you feel it. The mind, our normal mind, sees a world of objects, a world of things. I'm surrounded by things, and I am another thing in that multiplicity. And so I am separate from the other things. So the idea, the energetic aspect of these centers is the opposite of that. It's opening up to feel the connection. So when the mind stops seeing the world as a world of things, it just starts sensing, it's like everything blurs and everything's actually connected. So when your eyes are scanning the scene, they're not caught by the objects within the scene. You're aware that it is a vista of objects, but there's nothing about it that makes you focus. It's the opposite of like a cell phone, a mobile phone, a smartphone, where your attention is very much focused down this tunnel. So like tunnel vision, you know, when someone's on their phone, they're obviously unaware of you. So we're just trying to open up that so that everything is in our range. And we want that to happen in all of the centers. So here I'm prowling. I'm just shifting gently from foot to foot. My Dan Chen is trying to grab the ground here. And then the ground comes up and grabs my Dan Chen. So it's difficult to know whether it's me pulling the ground or the ground pulling me. This is what we want. We want, John always used to say that when the two people are working well together, it's difficult to know who's attacking and who's yielding because they're both so bound up. And this is the feeling here. Something in me reaches out for the ground, but similarly, the ground is reaching for me. And then that's it. Just slowly start turning with it. Something comes out of my sacrum down the leg. So I turn away from the foot that's going to grab the ground so that I can get more extension from my back into it. The same way when we pull the rope. And then just trying to straighten the leg. And then same thing, but with the arm. Reaching forwards, pulling in the rope. Feeling the shoulder blade extending down into the arm from the middle of the back. If you can get the visualization well, this thing that I'm pulling in, then it's clear that the turns are simply a consequence of the action. I'm not turning in order to turn. I'm turning in order to extend my arm forwards. And then I'm turning the other way in order to pull in that rope. It's what we want to feel. The turning is a function of my relationship here with the rope that I'm pulling in, that when I'm just turning from the legs with the ground. So here I'm reaching down the rope, and then I grab the rope and I pull it. And just feel that the more I can reach, the more I can expand and extend the arm and open the hand, the stronger will be my return, as long as I don't allow my enthusiasm to topple me. And I want to feel the inevitability of the return. So I extend forwards, and then it has to just close and turn back the other way because it can't go any further, and I don't want it to stop. Really try and turn your head away from the direction that you're reaching into. So it's almost like you're reaching into a darkness, into a blind spot, like lucky dip. It's now that I turn to see what it is I've caught. Now let's just bring it into riding horse. Feeling the flow down the spine, across the sacrum, into the legs, down into the earth. And you can think of that action, that process, as being centered here in your center of gravity. This is where your mass is accumulating. So even though you start here and the flow starts there, the downward flow of gravity, this is where it seems to be controlled from, the point where the body splits. So this sense of something reaching down, and also a sense of something coming up in order to claim this. So in one sense, my legs are forceful in the sense that they're pushing the ground to hold me up. But energetically, my legs are trying to reach into the ground all the time. That's what we want to wake up to. And so this sense of reaching down is the relaxation across the sacrum. your ability to just allow the body to split. And then just, John used to have this image of you being like a heavy overcoat hanging on a coat hanger. So imagine you have a coat hanger and you've got this heavy overcoat hanging off it. And there's a thread coming from the ceiling with a loop in it. You just hook it in and then it just hangs, but it's held from here. This is a feeling that we really want to cultivate and wake up to. The sense that I'm suspended from here and I am just hanging. Just imagine the overcoat. I mean, you hang things up, don't you, so that the creases will fall out of them, because the stretching of the weight of the garment will stretch the creases out of it. It's the same feeling here. It's like I'm being held up by here, and gravity is just washing through my body all the time, taking all the wrinkles, if only, down into the ground. And also, you know, when you have that image, then rather than you being stacked from the ground and everything really packing into each other, everything is loosening. The vertebrae are all getting a little bit further apart. The bones are separating. So you get a sense of the body filling with like an air or an energy that's separating all the bones and just giving you real lightness of mobility. That's very important. The other one is important too, this sense of being stacked from the ground, but we get that from our sinking anyway, from our legs interacting with the earth. So the air, that air that comes in and just makes you light of heart, light of head. It's like being lightheaded. It's almost like you're a little bit giddy, and just comes into the body and surrounds each bone. And that's very much heaven energies. That's very much something that's descended down into you. Now let's just try the earth exercise. So I'm just feeling the flow down from the head or from the heart down. And then feel that point where it splits, that wriggle, to get the one splitting into the two. And then down just as far as you want to go, really, and then back up. And then they rejoin and come back up. And then again, down, splitting, connecting to the ground, and up. And now let's go into the heart one. So now it's branching out of the heart down the arms, reaching up, and then back down the arms and into the heart. And then again, branching out. So let's take this down to the Dan Chen. And then up and then it branches just above the heart. It's very much a tree. So your torso is like the trunk of the tree, and then the arms are like the beginning of the branches that reach up. The fingers are even more branches. Your dantian is the base of the tree, and your legs are the roots of the tree. So I'm coming up from the base of the tree, up, branching down the arms, reaching up to the heavens, and just drawing some energy down, passing down into the base of the tree, the dantian. And then combining them. So bringing it down and splitting down the legs, bringing the energy of the earth up, and then branching down the arms, reaching up, bringing some energy from the heavens down. So similar to how the dantian here is wanting to reach down into the earth, and the earth is wanting to claim it. Similarly, my head center is wanting to reach up to the heavens, to the cosmos. So this is very Irish. And so me and thee, who have Irish ancestry, will connect with it. You know, they call Ireland the land of mist and mystery. That's the sense of this work. It's all misty. You can never quite say anything clear about it. And everything is really mysterious. And we're trying to just go so deep that that's what it is. I haven't clarified the situation. To start with, we need to create an exercise that we can work with, but the exercise should quite quickly take you out of the clarity and everything just becomes misty and indefinable, ineluctable. I really miss Ireland. You can't imagine two lands more dissimilar than Israel and Ireland. And now just continue it, but now with the turning side to side. So this is more like the heart center. So the one we've just done was the Dan Chen connecting to the ground and the head center connecting with the heavens. Now this is the heart center. And I'm just allowing it to open up. And something reaches out and I gather in. I'm like a fisherman casting a net. This is me casting the net, and then this is me drawing in the net. So thymus, the upper heart, reaching out, and then drawing into the lower heart, into eros. So the heart is breathing. I'm coming up into the upper heart, going back into the lower heart. I want to get this heaving in the chest. So I have to venture out, otherwise I'll have nothing to hug. Can't expect the world to just come to me all the time. So something in me squeezes out, and then I just bring it in. From the heart and to the heart. Everything I do that relates to the world outside myself comes from the heart. It's not my planning, machinating mind. It's not my desire for profit. It's my very, very natural need to touch and affect and be affected. Affection. It's what we mammals, we all have that in common. back to riding horse. And just feeling it, feeling this two limbs coming out of your dantian down your legs, grabbing the ground, trying to draw you down into it. Something here is just reaching out. The image I think of is like the top of your cranium has been sawn off, and there's like a light just emanating from the brain, directed upwards. And your heart is just breathing all the time. It's reaching out and it's pulling in. So when you see something, it connects directly to your heart as much as it does to your head. So the head, the way we're trained to use it, the head sort of pushes things away. You know, when you look at things with your mind, you're wanting it to become clear and distinct. So there's something in you that has to squeeze the thing violently in order to make it into an object. In other words, to break its connections with the world so that you can see it as something that's distinct. That's very aggressive. So that's what we're just trying to soften. You start getting into it by just allowing your eyes not to focus. So in Tai Chi, they talk about hooding the eyes. So the eyes look as though they're almost closed. And that's enough just to get what you're seeing blurred. So nothing is sharply in focus. There's a sense that all objects are bleeding in and out of the world around it. And then you can, you know, so I look at that chair, which you can't see. But if I can just blur my eyes, then I can see how happy that chair is to be sitting next to its brother, to the other chair that's the same. You just get a sense of relationship, a sense that everything is feeling. Every object is just a bundle of feelings. You know, we tend to associate feelings with us and with animals, but everything feels. There's that wonderful quote of Alfred North Whitehead. He says, every entity has feelings, including electrons. So everything is being affected. You know, so when I pick up the chair, it's feeling it. It's got a sense of being moved. This is what we want to wake up to. So everything is alive in its own way. Even the man-made objects. I mean, there's nothing natural in this room. There's a plant there, but even that doesn't look natural. It looks like it's plastic. And now let's just try turning again, but just using the one leg. So I straighten this leg to turn me around here. And then I bend this leg to turn me back. And then I straighten it to turn me here. So I'm turning side to side, but I'm just using the one leg, my right leg, to do the turning, straightening and bending. Straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Straighten, bend. And we want to feel how when I straighten the back leg here, it really pushes my thymus up because it tries to straighten into the arching spine. And then I bend the leg to bring me back. And then when I straighten the front leg, it's almost bending me double. And this really brings me down into the deep heart, into the lower heart. And then I pull with this leg to bring me round. And then I straighten the leg. And this brings me into thymus. Bend the leg, which takes me down. Straighten the leg again, which takes me right down into the deep heart. And then bending the leg. Upper heart. Almost a sense that something's erupting out of your thymus. So now it's going back down. And now here it's really gone down into the deep heart. I want to feel the movement in the heart. Trying to get one leg really straight and one leg really bent, feeling that real separation between full and empty. So I'm sinking into this leg, but also this leg is driving me into it. So it's extra punishment. Same here. And let's try a little bit with the other leg. So now straightening this leg to turn me over here, and then bending the leg to bring me back to the front, and then straightening the leg again to turn me to this corner. So it's now a front leg. And then riding horse and bow and arrow. One leg straight, one leg bent. Both legs bent. One leg straight, one leg bent. Allow yourself to move back. It's actually quite difficult to get the weight in the back leg, especially when the other leg is driving you down. Now just a little bit of this. So you could just, just gently jog, just to help the legs. Legs tend to get a bit congested when we're standing, especially in riding horse. So now I'm just very, very gentle jog. And I want to feel the sway, this rocking from side to side. That's the action of walking. So when you walk, if you let it, the walking will actually lull your anxious, chattering mind to almost asleep. And then you just become more aware of energy. You see people in the park, jogging or, doing their power walks in the morning, and they've all got earbuds in and a mobile phone strapped to their arm. So no internal aspect of their work whatsoever. Feel this sense of being suspended. You can really feel it in this exercise. And then the looseness in my legs just allows my sacrum to hang almost through the legs. So dancers imagine that their legs join their torso at their armpits. And then you can get a real sense that your spine is just hanging down from your connection to the ceiling. And then just standing to attention. Just feel that movement. It's still there. It's going to take a while for it to settle. You just feel it. So now your body's not moving, but your energy is still moving. This is the sense of energy. There's always movement. And in particular, it's like things are receding and things are appearing. But that sense that your consciousness is just this vast ocean, and things are coming out towards you, things are going back.